Hello, my name is Reverend Dr. May Elise Cannon. Today is Friday. It's November 22nd. Today is day 413. I'm at the Amman airport, got ready to leave the Middle East after being here for the last 2.5 weeks. I've spent the last 7 weeks out of 9 here in the Middle East or in other parts of the world. Here's an update of the last 24 hours or so before I head home. The most significant news since my midday report from yesterday on this 413th day, since October 7th of last year, the most significant news is that the International Criminal Court issued arrest warrants for Prime Minister Netanyahu and former Israeli Defense Minister Yoav Gallant for crimes against humanity and for war crimes in Gaza. The court issued also an arrest warrant for the Hamas military chief Mohammed Diaf, who Israel claims to have killed in August, also for crimes against humanity. There was a 3-judge panel. They said with a unanimous decision that there are reasonable grounds to believe that both individuals referring to Netanyahu and Gallant knowingly deprived the civilian population in Gaza of objects indispensable to their survival. They mentioned food, water, medicine, medical supplies, as well as fuel and electricity. Netanyahu's office said this is anti-Semitic. They said it's akin to a modern-day Dreyfus affair. If you're not familiar, I would encourage you to look that up. President Herzog of Israel said this is an outrageous decision. The arrest warrant for Mohammed Diaf is because the ICC said they cannot independently determine whether or not he had been killed previously. The White House responded. They said they fundamentally reject the court's decision. The EU diplomat Joseph Borrell said that the warrants are not political and must be respected and implemented. The Netherlands said that they plan on respecting the arrest warrant, and then various different states responded differently. Jordan's foreign minister, Ayman Safadi, who I met with just a few weeks ago, said that the court's decision must be respected and implemented. He said Palestinians deserve justice, and Israel's war crimes in Gaza must be addressed. The prosecutor, Karim Khan, called on both court's member and non-member states to cooperate with the warrants. He said he looks forward to accountability, and he expressed concern over escalating violence. The violence in the past week has escalated again. The death tolls are just atrocious. I mentioned 70 killed on Sunday, 50 killed on Monday, 100 were killed just the night before last. The West Bank violence is immense. There is shrinking humanitarian access, not only in Gaza, but in the West Bank and other parts of the occupied territories. Palestinians are facing, quote, diminishing conditions for survival with no aid delivery to the territory in 40 days, according to the UN, referring to their UN deliveries and attempts for distribution over the last month being denied or impeded. A 27-year-old civilian was killed by rocket fire in Lebanon in the north. This is referring to rocket fire from Lebanon in a northern Israeli city on Thursday morning. So an Israeli civilian was killed. Hezbollah fired at least 15 rockets at northern Israel on Thursday. The IDF said it struck Hezbollah targets in Beirut for the 3rd time on Thursday. At least 47 people were killed by Israeli airstrikes on Baalbek, and that government yesterday. The death toll in Lebanon as of yesterday was 3,583 people. The death toll in Gaza, I mentioned that it was surpassing 44,000. It's 44,056 people as of the most recent numbers that I have. I gave a brief update that the joint resolutions of disapproval were not passed. 3 of them the U.S. Senate blocked that could have halted some U.S. arms transfers. Roughly a third of Senate Democrats blocked supporting sales. A U.S.-Israel panel met for the first time, or will meet for the first time next month to investigate reports of civilian harm in the Gaza war. The Israeli military bombed at least 5 homes in northern Gaza in the day before yesterday, resulting in scores of casualties. This is what I'm talking about. Scores of casualties means dozens, according to my understanding. Hamas's acting Gaza chief yesterday said there will be no hostages for prisoners swap deal with Israel unless the war ends. Israel last week formally promised the Biden administration in a letter it has no intention of forcefully displacing Palestinians from North Gaza or starving the civilian population there. Yet we know that's already happening. So that's just not true. The Biden administration envoy Hochstein has been in Israel. We'll hear more about that in coming updates. And we talked about Naim Qassem, the Hezbollah chief's speech that he gave. He said the ceasefire is now in Israel's hands. He rejected the notion that Israel could keep striking Hezbollah if the deal is violated and a truce is not reached, or if the deal is violated after a truce is reached. The UN Nuclear Agency on Tuesday confirmed Iran has offered to keep uranium below purity levels necessary for developing a nuclear weapon. And just remind me in an upcoming Thursday weekly summary to talk about Saudi Arabia and specifically the NEOM project, NEOM. That's very, very important. It plays a significant role in the potential of the Saudi Arabia normalization deal with Israel. This coming week, Thursday is Thanksgiving. I'll not have a live briefing, but I'll give a weekly update. So many blessings to you. That's the daily update for the day. May God go before us. Amen.